Hi, we're Lee and Mandy, Frugal Travellers.
Welcome to our Frugal Travel Costs video on Estonia.
For those of you who are new to our channel, we're independent budget travellers and we travel the world on around about $20 a day each.
In August 2020, we spent 25 days in Estonia. In this video, we're going to show you exactly what we spent and give you some frugal travel tips and advice. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video where you can see whether or not we actually managed to stay under budget or if we went over.
We'll give you the costs in 5 different categories, and at the end we'll give you a full breakdown of our travel costs.
We'll be showing the prices in the local currency, which for Estonia happens to be euros, but we'll also give dollars and pounds on the side. Just remember, we're going to be going through this fairly fast, so just pause if you want to see prices in more detail. People have asked us which app we use to record our expenses. So what app do you use, Lee?
I don't use one. I just use the notes on my Magic Box and keep a record on everything that we spend every day so I can track our expenses.
And then at the end of the month, we add them all up. They're on a spreadsheet. It's
great to look back on. If everyone want to know how much a burger cost in Tallinn, I've got it on record.
So moving on to section 1, accommodation.
Of our 25 nights we spent in Estonia, we spent a few nights in Pärnu and 22 nights in Tallinn because it's an amazing city. We absolutely love the place and we like to slow travel. There are plenty more interesting places to visit in Estonia, such as Narva and Tartu, and we intend to go back and see those again one day.
We normally always book accommodation in advance, at least 1 or 2 nights. But because it was COVID times last year and we were traveling from Lithuania through Latvia into Estonia, we thought we'd just wing it, just in case we didn't get across one of the borders. So we arrived in Tallinn at 6 o'clock in the morning. We'd found a place on booking.com that we quite liked. So we just walked around and knocked on the door and spoke to them from there.
Yeah, it cost 15 euros per night to stay in the Suda hostel, which is a great little hostel just outside the city centre, very convenient. It was a basic room with 2 single beds and a sink, but there was kitchen facilities as well, which we could use, which is always good to keep the cost down.
And it was extremely clean. Valia, the woman who ran it, she was, very particular about how things were, so it wasn't noisy. It was an excellent place to stay.
Yeah, I'd recommend it. We had a look online and it was cheaper to stay there in a double room than it was to stay in 2 dormitory beds, so that was a bonus.
Definitely. We're not sure if it's actually always that cheap. Apparently Suda Hostel normally has a lot of international students staying there. When we stayed there, it was mainly locals on holiday or workers from other countries.
We noticed all the other cities were a bit more expensive than Tallinn, so when we looked at Pärnu, we found a place on booking.com for 26 euros. It was called the Budget Hostel and it had a picture of the telephone number on there, didn't it, Mandy? So Mandy gave them a call, had a chat with them and negotiated a bit of a discount. We got that for 20 euros and 50 cents per night.
That was, it's a frugal travel tip. Have a look. If you can contact accommodation directly, you can normally negotiate a bit of a discount.
It was midweek, there was absolutely nobody there, even though it was the end of summer, so they were quite happy to have us. We booked a double room, but the place was virtually empty, so we had a room with 5 beds in it. Unfortunately, they didn't have a kitchen. It only had a microwave, a fridge, and a kettle. Yeah, so we couldn't do the normal self-catering, so we had to be a little bit inventive with our food. So our total accommodation cost in Estonia was 371 euros.
So now we're up to section 2, which is food and drink. And because Tallinn is such a major tourist destination, it means that the restaurants in the old town, like especially around the main square near the town hall, were a lot more expensive than we'd actually expected.
Of course, they have to pay more rent, so it's a little bit dearer. We found a great little bar in one of the back streets of the old town called Nimeta Bar, or No Name Bar. It was a large pub who wanted to get people in for lunchtime, so they did some great lunch specials for around €4.50.
We ended up eating there about, I'm not too sure, 5 times. The meals were international. We had Thai and Italian, etc. And Indian one day.
Yeah.
But it was just such good value. We kept going back. We couldn't help ourselves.
Yeah, you could get a soup, bread, salad, main meal and a coffee for €4.50 each. So we couldn't argue with that.
Excellent value.
Yeah.
Another place we found that was brilliant value was actually the restaurant at the National Library of Estonia.
Yeah, thinking outside the square there, we visited the library and found the brilliant canteen downstairs.
It's one of those buffets where you dish up what you want and then they weigh it. But the great thing was, an hour before it closed, everything was 50% off if you had it in a takeaway container.
Yeah, so we'd take it outside and sit on a park bench and have it. A normal sized meal inside cost €5 each, but it was only €2.50 each to have the takeaway. Great value for money. Another brilliant place we'd really recommend in Tallinn is Il Drakon, or Three Dragons. It's underneath the town hall and it's a medieval theme place. Everyone's in costume and they serve up pies for $1.50 and soups for $2.50. It's really good fun. It's a great environment and a bit touristy, but it's well worth going there.
Definitely. Now, we found Pärnu to be a bit more expensive than Tallinn. We actually spent like a whole day walking around trying to find a cheap restaurant before discovering that the place opposite our hostel was actually the best value in town.
Yeah, it was full of locals, so that's always a good sign. It was like a canteen type place and we got a meal in there for €4.60 each.
And to keep costs down, we went to supermarkets quite a lot.
As we do.
Yes, we always do. And one of the best things about staying at Suda Hostel was Valia gave us a recommendation to go to a local supermarket around the corner called Co-Market, and they had the best orange sticker specials ever.
Everything was 50% off, so we got quite inventive on the things we bought and the different meals we tried to make, didn't we?
It was brilliant. It's such a great way to try local products that you normally would never look at because you wouldn't know what they were, but would go straight to the shelf with the orange stickers and would get some incredible bargains.
There's some really good local produce available in Estonia. We were really impressed. Things like the black bread, the different kinds of bread they had, the very dense breads, they were really good. The dairy products were excellent. Anything from Saaremaa Island, I recommend. Salads and things like that. Blini was another popular one. Some of the pancakes. Just lots of very good food available in the supermarket for very good prices.
We also went to Rimi supermarket. That was pretty good. It was a lot bigger, didn't have quite so many specials, but I think we got roast chicken from there a few times and had a few picnic lunches.
You got excited about the Rimi card, didn't you?
Yeah, it was brilliant. You walk into the store, there's a machine at the front, you scan your Rimi card and it shows you all the different bargains you can get for that week. So yeah, took advantage of that a lot.
Nothing like getting a good bargain.
Exactly.
And Salvo was another good supermarket that we found too. If you've been following us for a while, you know that we really like kebabs and we had to try one there. So in the old town, they were about €7 each for a kebab, but outside we found one for €3.50. Chicken kebab, it was quite good value for money.
Now we come to alcohol. One of the things about being a frugal traveller is you have to make sacrifices, unfortunately, and we would have loved to have gone to one of the beautiful bars that surround the town square in the old town. But at €9 for a pint of beer, that works out to like half our daily budget.
So instead, we'd go to the supermarket where you could get a beer for between €1 and €1.50, and the Estonian beers are excellent. There's a massive variety there. They're really tasty. What was your favourite, Mandy?
My favourite beer was one that I call Upside Down Alexander. It's an unfiltered beer from A La Coque, and the can is brilliant. It is upside down. For some reason to do with, I don't know, the sediment or the technical side, who knows? But the flavour was amazing. Such a good beer.
Yeah, and I like the chocolate porter as well from A La Coque, I think that was, yeah. But A La Coque and Saku are the two major brands, and there's just so much variety. Estonian beer is excellent. We might even do a video on that because we drank so many of them. One of our favourite things to do was to go to the steps of the Balti Dramaturg, which is the market just outside the railway station, a really popular place where all the students and lots of locals go to have a few beers. There's music pumping from the nearby bars, there's a toilet in the market next door, so that's convenient, and it was a great place to spend. We spent a few evenings there, didn't we?
We did. It was just so lovely. One of the things to remember as well, whenever you buy a beer or even a can or bottle of any type of drink in Estonia, is they charge a 10-cent deposit. So it's up to you. You can either collect your cans and bottles and then try to find a Tarimaat machine behind one of the supermarkets to return them, to get a coupon to then spend in the supermarket, or you can do what the locals do and leave your cans and bottles by the bin and people come along and collect them. It's a way for them to make money.
So in total, our expenditure for food and drink was €273.20.
And oh my word, we ate so well and we drank like the best beers ever. Section 3 is transport.
We found the best way to get around the Baltic countries was by bus. Cheap and efficient, and very good value as well. Lux Express is a really good bus company that we used a couple of times. They have excellent buses, they have screens in the back of the seats, and they have as much coffee as you can drink, don't they?
Yeah, excellent coffee machines with tea and hot chocolate as well. I think on one 3-hour journey we set ourselves a challenge to see how many coffees we could have, and I think I had 3 and I was a bit wired for the rest of the day, but it was fun. They have a great website so you can book in advance, and they tend to have specials if it's like more than a month earlier. But with these days of travel uncertainty, I don't know, I think I'd be a little bit wary of doing that, because we actually got caught out. So when it comes to this section of our travel costs, it's a bit complicated because we'd actually received refunds for bookings that were made for March and April.
Yeah, we had a lot of cancellations due to COVID, so we had vouchers instead. So the tickets that we paid for wouldn't have been the prices of the buses we got.
No, so we'll try to make this simple for you.
The bus we got from Vilnius in Lithuania to Tallinn would normally be €19 for the overnight bus, which is quite reasonable, but we used an €8 voucher, so we got a good deal there. And the bus from Tallinn to Pärnu costs €7, but you can get that for €5 on special. Leaving Estonia, we took Flixbus from Pärnu to Riga in Latvia because it was a little bit cheaper at €8. Flixbus had just moved into the region and they're another good bus company to use. Using public transport in Pärnu, we didn't bother. It was very easy to walk around the town. And in Tallinn, if you're in the centre of Tallinn, no problem. You can walk around the old town and out to the Balti-Jamaturg and Kalamaja, those kind of places. But if you want to go further out to Pirita Beach or somewhere like that, you can get the local bus or tram. They are €1.50 for a ride anywhere in the city. I did it once. Our total transport costs for going all around Estonia was €33. Very good.
So section 4 now is sightseeing. And Tallinn is such a beautiful city. You can see why it's UNESCO World Heritage protected, because it's simply stunning. And we had so much fun like wandering around the city walls, exploring the back streets, checking it out. There are many things that you can actually pay to do, like going to the museums, walking up on the city walls and going on various tours. But we did our usual thing and we just wandered around.
Yeah, looking at the fantastic scenery, it's just so beautiful. Tallinn isn't just the old town. We stayed for a long time, so we really explored the whole place. And here are some of the free things that you can do that we would recommend. Visit the Teleskivi Creative District. Go to the Kalamaja District, the Noblesna Port, the Linna Hall, Kadriog Park, Pirita Beach. Ride the driverless bus. Visit the Memorial of the Victims of Communism. Go to the National Library of Estonia. See the Vaiki Osme district, Stroomi Beach, the Song Festival grounds. Go up Toompea Hill and check out the amazing viewpoints. And one other great thing that we did was we went to the Medieval Days Festival. It is in early August over a weekend, and it is a fantastic extravaganza of medieval costumes, music, shows, markets, entertainment, food. It's got it all. The Medieval Festival is free and it's well worth timing your visit for if you can do it. So our total expenditure on sightseeing in Estonia was €0 and we had so much fun.
Section 5 is miscellaneous.
And we had a few miscellaneous expenses. My Seagate hard drive died and I had to airmail it to Sweden. Recorded delivery, €8 for international post was pretty reasonable.
And I needed some summer trousers because it actually got quite warm in August. So I spent €2.50 on a pair of 3/4 length trousers at a charity shop and €1 on a hat. And also my bag broke. So at another second-hand store, this one in the Balti-Jamaturg, I spent €1 on a bag there.
So our total miscellaneous cost was €12.50.
So now we come to the final breakdown.
In conclusion, we spent 25 days in Estonia and our total expenditure was 690 euros and 20 cents. That is 345 euros and 10 cents each, which comes to 13 euros and 20 cents per person per day, which is £11.40 or $16 and 16 cents per person per day.
So yeah, we managed to spend less than our $20 each per day, which was fantastic.
Estonia is very good value for money for Europe.
There are a lot of restaurants and bars that are quite pricey, so you do have to look around.
Yeah, and if you're coming for a long weekend, which a lot of people do, then splash out and go to that nice bar in the square, you know, but if you're on a budget, you can do it for a reasonable price. And the reason our budget came in so low was because we travelled slowly. We stayed in one place for a long time. We didn't tour around the entire country.
We didn't go to any museums or anything like that.
But we had a fantastic time and we really recommend Estonia to everybody.
Definitely. Tallinn is beautiful. I'd go back in a flash. I'd go back just to drink another upside down Alexander. It was great.
Thanks for watching. We hope you found this video useful. If you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and share with your friends.
And as always, we love to hear your comments. Please, if you've got any frugal travel tips and advice you can share with other travellers, write them below. Please let us know if you've been to Estonia, and if so, what your recommendations are, your favourite local food, restaurants, drinks, etc. Because it's always great to hear from you.
So until next time, thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Bye.